Howdy ho, Winslow's. Some of you people might remember that. Some of you probably don't. Either way, what's happening? What's good? Boom, boom, boom. I'm just really talking to myself. There's no one even on this line right now, but it's okay. It's okay. She was gone anyway. I display Hot 97. We're all ready. What an incredible day to be alive. Thanks. My dog is looking at me peculiarly. He's like, what is she doing? Why is she always making noise and making faces? What's wrong with this girl? But he still loves me though. That's what really matters here. And so do you. Because I'm looking at myself. I'm kidding, not kidding. We have a couple minutes till call kicks off. So I got like 3. So I'm not really gonna play music today. I gotta grab my book so I can go through my notes with my team. But this week has been very impactful. Facts. Impactful. Facts. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just waiting for my friends to join the party line so that we can talk about the mastermind and crushing the game in 2021. I know my nails aren't done, but they are a little shiny. I did put polish on them, you know. I'm working on myself, guys. Hair, you know, eyebrows. It's a lot. Girls got a lot of maintenance, you know. I didn't really sign up for all this shit. I'm just saying, you know. I mean, you don't have to, but you don't want to be like Willie Mammoth. You know what I mean? Like you want to be pretty and, you know, fit the stereotype that people have for you. So, and it attracts clients, it attracts business. I mean, everything has a viable point. You know, people are very, what's the word? We're very cardinal. So people are, you know, drawn by appeal, sex appeal, you know? So the prettier you look, the more appealing, you know, the more eye candy-ish you are, the more put together you are, especially for women. You know, women see other women and they think to themselves, you know, especially if her shoe game is on point. That could be my friend. I like her, right? So that's a huge thing, you know, especially if you're in business, sales, you know, you deal with people. You want to have a pleasing personality. You know, you want to present yourself in a certain light. And you want to be authentic, right? You don't want to like, you know, be disingenuous to who you are because who you are is your brand. So we're having a whole conversation right now, right? It just happens that way. I've been reading a lot, so I guess I just have a lot on my mind. And I haven't really been talking to a lot of outside sources lately. So I've just kind of been in my own thoughts, working on my own stuff. It's beautiful up here. You know, there's a lot of good stuff up here. Really excited about the manifestation of the stuff up here into the physical realm. So I feel good. I feel solid about 2021. I felt great about 2020. 2020 was, you know, a rough year for a lot of people. Pandemic, you know, a lot going on in the world. But there was also a lot of positive. You know, everyone looks at only the lack. So you gotta know to look at the glass on both sides, empty or half empty and half full. Hello.
Hello.
Good
How
evening.
are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I just spent like the last 5 minutes talking to my screen, so it was great.
Oh, awesome.
Mr. MacArthur. I mean, Mac. I'm working on myself.
Hi, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can hear you.
Now
Yeah.
you can hear me. Yes.
Yeah, I was talking to myself for like 5 minutes. That shit is fire. Whatever I said was lit. You guys, if you chance
You get on early,
huh?
You get on Zoom early, huh?
I get on about 5 minutes early, just in the happenstance that someone happens to be a little early. I don't want them not to be admitted. So
Gotcha.
yeah. I mean, I know it's like 20 of us or anything, but I am the host. you know. So it'd be nice if I was prepared before you guys get on. That's why I usually play music. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the YouTubes. I usually play music and stuff or talk to myself like I did tonight. I had a whole monologue tonight. I went in. So when I posted,
Gotcha.
huh?
I said, I got you. Monologue. You was in here monologuing. So, wait, question. Wait, do you have to approve people before they can come in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't catch you slipping out here.
No, but you can. That's a setup in the administrative feature. So you can turn that
Oh,
off.
so it's not probably by default.
No, no. I
Gotcha.
purposely set it up so I have to approve people in and out of the group.
I'm trying to turn up the volume in this, but
Well, I hear you loud and clear.
no, like you, I mean, for me.
Oh. How's everyone's day going?
My day was very lazy. I just stayed in bed and relaxed and watched.
Straight fiend. I've been trying to do work forever, like get out my house and do actual like physical stuff.
Yeah.
And,
it was raining all day here today.
oh, that sounds so beautiful.
Oh, I would have went to the gym today, actually. I'll go tomorrow.
I got to work on working out. I was working out for a while and now, I mean, I don't know. I did some yoga. I don't know. I mean, I'm doing my own thing, I guess.
What does yoga do for you besides flexibility? Doesn't really get you in shape.
It does a lot. You know, it definitely does. Because it's a lot about like holding your muscles and like you downward dog, for example, like you throw your leg. All of those are like you're using your body as a natural weight. Because there's a lot of different types of yoga too. I mean, there's like, I think
What's wrong with yoga though? Oh yeah, go. I'm sorry. Finish.
there's like 14 types of different yoga. So it really just depends like what form and what style you're doing. Some people do more zened out yoga where they're just like in a meditative state, but some yoga is extremely physical.
But it seems like you already have to be flexible before you can do yoga because most people, like if you're like, let's say that you're overweight, people are gonna have a lot more harder time doing yoga than people who are skinnier.
No, you're right, but that's the whole point. It's about so yoga is like also a spiritual practice. So it's about attuning to your body. Like, yes, you have an instructor and that instructor's been doing it for years. So their agility, their flexibility, all of that is a lot more, it's higher for them, you know? But when you start, you're not that far in your practice. So it's really about centering yourself, becoming one with your breathing, seeing what you're feeling throughout your body, and then using your body as its own tool. Like, you know, like
yes, I don't disagree with that at all. I just feel like you can't just do yoga alone to get in shape. You have to do other things to get in shape.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I do.
Because, like I said, if say that you're overweight, yes, you won't be able to be a black belt in yoga. You know, I mean, until you're doing something else to lose that weight.
Okay, so you're talking about if you're already out of shape.
Yes, it doesn't get you in shape. Yes,
I mean, I'm not in incredible shape, but I think that where I am in shape, yoga can still help me. You know. Yeah. Because it's more like, especially like if you do planks are really good.
Yeah, yes.
So there's a lot of plank work.
I mean, yeah, they only do so much. It's good to do, but yeah,
well, I really want to do hot yoga, but I'm not doing that with COVID. You know what I mean? So
I never heard that before.
Hot yoga is like you go in a sauna, it's like a room, it's 100 degrees, 101, and you do yoga in there.
Sounds like you're gonna be fainting.
No, you drink water. I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be a great experience. And then I've done there's another yoga you do with you close your eyes and then they just walk you through it. And that was like a super incredible experience. And it was like not easy. I was sweating. It was intense, but it was beautiful. It was this whole, you know, your eyes are closed. I mean, it really was dope. There's a lot of different things out there. So I would just say, you know, you got to explore your options and find the right fit for you. Mac.
Gotcha. Thank you for the advice.
You're welcome, sir. Namaste. Chakra. Miss Ursula, have you done yoga?
With my kids in the classroom.
Oh. Like, yep.
Did a couple different poses, but outside of that, no.
Okay, I'm gonna get my book because I was reading before we jumped on. I was reading another book that wasn't our book.
So you're cheating on our book?
I mean, I got 5 books I'm reading right now, not including this book, but I'm actually on this is the book I'm doing right now. Branding Yourself. I know it doesn't look like anything reading it backwards like that. Damn,
Is that like a cow branding? Like you get the thing, you brand yourself like.
No, it's about personal branding, like blogging, LinkedIn, Twitter, shit. It's good though. So I have 3 other books that are similar, but definitely not the same. This one is more like about you being the brand. And the other ones are like using your company. I mean, they all are kind of, they have similarities. All of them talk about social media on some level. But I'm interested to see how each author takes the topic and explains it differently.
Makes sense.
You know? So I want to see which book at the end is the best, and maybe I can make a recommendation for people that are looking to brand themselves or go into the social media and networking worlds. So back to the Law of Success. Woohoo! Where am I? I'm in January 3rd, 2021. Timestamp. I didn't say anything. How did your readings go?
Went well.
Okay. Miss Ursula?
Yeah, it went pretty good.
Did you actually get through it?
I mean, I still have to go back and read the stuff previous to this, but
Okay.
I did skip a few things myself.
Okay, I'm super proud of you guys. Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad you did your reading for this evening. And we started at how lessons are learned. So I want to know if there's any takeaways that
what
you
page
guys,
is that, Lola?
it's going to be on page 204.
Okay, I was just making sure because I had to go back through the group and make sure I looked at what last week's reading was, so I know where to start off for this reading that we're going to discuss. Okay, so I'm in the right spot.
So he talked about social heredity. Were there any major takeaways there? He goes through all the animals and kind of like learned behaviors and stuff like that. Was any of that like eye-opening, or did you guys have any revelations?
The one thing that he got from me when I was reading about like fairs and stuff, like that could be passed down through inheritance. Like if your parents or your family talks about it a lot, they pass down their own superstitions, like also like how you pass down religion, and then you can also pass down fairs as well to other generations.
True.
So and then this all went into how people have their confidence and self-confidence. So he intertwined it with that and everything. But yeah, I was curious to say, like, that's right. Like if one family really practiced something, the chances are it's going to be passed through the kids.
Like voodoo.
Like voodoo, yes. Yes, actually, yes. That's passed through generations of families that believe it, yes. And then so other fears that become down, just like, racism, that's passed down.
That's 100%.
That's perfect. That's a perfect example right there. Hate is passed, not learned. I mean, it's learned, but it's passed down. It's not, nobody really comes out hating everybody. So
no. What's a lot of abuse too? Abuse is passed down, rape.
Well, abuse, yes, abuse is passed down, and also abuse causes other people in your personality to become abusers.
True. So, that's like incest. Yeah. Like most people that are in ancestral families,
Yuck.
I'm just saying, it's a true story. Because they don't know
Game of Thrones?
What's wrong with it. No, I have not.
Okay, you might want to check that out. Yes, continue.
Like, if you're molested by your parents, you think it's normal. Mm-hmm. You have kids, you molest your kids. You think, oh, this is how I show love. This is what affection looks like, unless somehow you have a ability to break the cycle.
Yeah, yes, it's learned behavior. Yes.
So, I thought it was interesting about the animals. I like the examples where like he walks up to the little geese and he picks them up. Before they know he's a threat. And then all of a sudden he goes away, and then the mom comes out like, she's talking in duck, you know what I mean? Like geese or whatever. And she's like, she's flapping her wings. She's like, parents do. What are you doing? He's going to kill you. He might try to eat you. You're lucky you lived. And before he knows it, he comes back out. And it literally within minutes, they learn the behavior to be afraid of humans. So it's just interesting how fast like people around us can really impede on our mental abilities unconsciously, like how they can place doubt, fear, disbelief, and it can happen in the blink of an eye. I mean, look at these poor little geese, right? Like, yes, it's a survival mechanism for them, but look, like that could be a negative trait, right? That could have been a bad habit that a parent instills in a child, and just that fast the mind absorbs it, and now that person is on the road to destruction, and they weren't even conscious of it.
Yep.
So I just thought that was extremely powerful. Social heredity methods, ideas. And then he talks a lot about animals. I mean, there's a whole gang of bullfrogs in here and
Yeah, I
dogs.
saw that. Like
Oh,
a zoologist.
yeah, right. Dr. Doolittle. This is
For
the Dr.
reals.
Doolittle part of our chapter. The dog was interesting. You know how the dog gets messed up by the hen.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Poor dog, right? But he deserved it a little bit.
He learned his lesson, right?
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying, you know. Fear in the middle age. I thought that one was pretty interesting. So
Lola, quick question or
Yeah.
quick comment before you go to that, the fear of the middle age. I just wanted to just comment that I know you guys talked about like how traditions and stuff is passed on through kids.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I just wanted to add that he mentioned about the gathering of knowledge through direct exposure versus training of the young by the old.
Interesting. Mhm.
And I thought that was really interesting because even before I really knew anything about personal development, I learned at a very young age to learn from the experiences of other people versus my own.
Interesting.
And so,
Has that been helpful for you?
absolutely. Yeah. So growing up, you know, I grew up in the age where crack was like when the crack
Weed.
first hit the streets here in California. And so, you know, my brother was on it, my sister was on it. Uh, those are really the only two people like in my immediate family. Like my family's pretty small though, that was like cracked out. And so I learned like at an early age, I'll never do crack, I'll never do drugs because I saw what it did to them and how it affected our family.
Oh, you saw that firsthand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot
Yeah.
of people would probably not do it if they saw it firsthand, but sometimes they have to be learned the hard way. So that's a positive thing you got out of that.
It really is because I've tried to be the example for my daughter but she's more of the opposite where she has to, you know, you could tell her, but she has to go out and do it for herself and experience it for herself. So
Got it.
she likes to do the total opposite of
So she has to
what
feel.
I taught her.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand that feeling a little bit because I'm like that a little bit with certain things, but when it comes to my health or life, I'd
Right.
rather be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as long as you're, you know, mindful of, like you said, when you're gonna do those type of things, that's different. But I feel like with her, yeah.
Yeah, I had a,
think
I had uncles. I had an uncle who, when I was younger, he was used to be, he was on the rocks,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Well, my
and
dad was on the rocks. So, you know, I got to see firsthand how people could lose value that
Mhm.
feeling over the people that matter the most to them, no matter how destructive it can be.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Even it inevitably led to his death, you know, at the end of
Yeah.
the day, you know, was if he had been in his right mind, I'm pretty sure the activities that led to his end would have not happened for sure.
Right.
You know, I mean,
People act out a character. When you're hooked, you just act out a character, and you become a new person.
you do.
So,
Ex-
You
and
become
it's the drugs. It's just drugs just take over. It's sad. It's
Yeah, because it robs,
Yeah.
like, I always tell people, like, I never got to meet my mom and I never really got to meet my dad. Like, I met them in the physical, like, I saw them as humans, but, like, you know, my dad was on drugs, you know, so I never really, like, met him without substance, if that
You
makes
never saw him at his best.
No, and
You
my
would say.
mom has mental issues and she had them, you know, pretty much from as young as I can remember. So, like, I never saw her in sound mind, You know what I mean? So like I never got a
Mhm.
chance to actually like know them. I just know figments of them under the influence of things that they couldn't control or that they chose not to control, you know?
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I see you.
But I can create whatever image I want in my mind of them, I suppose. You know what I mean? Tell my own story.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You
Sometimes,
don't have to settle on one thing. You don't have to. You can just pick whatever.
yeah,
The
like
freedom.
sometimes like I pick things from their past and I choose to like try to define them by those things before they were who they became, you know, even though I never got to see it, you know, like my mom was a dancer. So when I think of her, you know, she went to Juilliard, she was a really good dancer, she got scholarships. So I always think of her as being a dancer, even though like I never got to see her dance. Like that's like my fantasy in my mind, you know, like that's the
Mhm.
place I go to when I think of her and like that's my connection to her. You know, I always think like that's my heredity to her, you know, social heredity. I feel like I'm a dancer, my mom's a dancer. Like that's our bond that we'll always have, you know, even though I didn't get to know her like that. Like that's our like our spiritual connection. I feel like when she gave me life, I feel like that was our unity, you know?
Right.
So you can find the gift or you can find the issues and be a victim. I think everyone has a choice, right?
That's so true.
Yes.
And I'm no one's victim. So
That part.
the power of self-confidence.
Yes. Yes. This made a lot of good points too.
So I want to hear auto suggestion. Auto suggestion. Did you hear it? Popping? Auto suggestion. So
Yeah,
what do
you
you
talked
have to
about that
say
in the
about
self-confidence. Yeah.
self-confidence?
And self-confidence, think about it. It's especially when you're trying to be successful and you have to work with other people, that's your commodity. Self-confidence is more important than money sometimes. If
Sure.
you see what I'm saying. Because getting people to work with you, getting people to get on board,
Right.
getting people motivated for
Yeah.
the same goal, that's a big task. And you can't do that without self-confidence.
Facts.
You can't
Yeah.
even do that with $1 billion. So
It's
you
true.
can probably, but you know what I mean.
But the likelihood of
You just keep throwing money at
getting
somebody.
$1 billion without self-confidence is highly improbable unless it was given to you, right? Like
Exactly.
don't
Yes.
believe in yourself, then you're not going to get there. I mean, unless you have rich parents that give you the money. But the reality is, even if you have the money, people, if they don't believe in you, think they're going to waste their time with you. Even if you have a lot of money, they're like, oh, that guy was given the money. You know what I mean? Like people know when someone's
Exactly.
like look at
It's
Paris Hilton, you know?
it's
But
like driving a car. You own a vehicle, but then you don't got no gas.
yes,
Right.
You're not gonna get you far. Or let's say that, or it's like driving a vehicle that takes premium and you're only putting regular gas in there. It ain't gonna run right. People are gonna know something's wrong. So
yeah. So self-confidence is everything. I mean, I think that it
it is.
precedes, and I think that's why he puts it so early in the book, is because, you know, the mastery of self-confidence helps you with everything else moving forward. Um, says the use and power of the mind to will do everything you want. Paint a picture so clearly that you can see it with your mind's eye.
Mm.
I love that. I'm a very visual person. I'm
Mhm.
kinetic and very visual. And I often work on seeing pictures in my mind. Like he talks about some incredibly powerful things. Did you guys read the self-confidence statement that the wife makes to her husband?
Yeah, that was powerful. You talking about that creed?
Yes.
That was powerful.
I think I skimmed that one.
And then he tells the story of his own father, how he was
Oh
like
yeah.
a farmer, and
Yeah.
then this woman believed in him and encouraged him,
Mhm.
and he became super successful.
She said
A
it all.
dentist, right?
She said it all.
But
Yeah.
that is this is also a huge principle of the law of success. I was actually talking to a friend of mine today about this. Your partner in life is everything. You know, they're like an elevator. They're either going to take you up or they're going to take you down.
Yep.
So
A
if you
partner
pick the
could be
wrong partner,
somebody is when you're swimming in the ocean and then the weights are holding you down. So are they gonna bring you up or are they gonna hold you down and eventually make you drown?
true.
Yeah.
You know,
Anchor.
yeah, anchor. You know
Yeah.
firsthand, James Adlam.
Mhm.
But I think that a lot of people, you know, I in my old age, right?
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Old age, huh?
Yeah, in my old age, in all the years of my life, right? I realized that there's so many things that school misses. You know, there's so many ways that they let us down. And I don't mean that to like, you know, nothing is perfect and I get that, but like I know children shouldn't focus on their life partner, but I think it would be a good idea to have them write down the qualities that they want in someone in their future, right? Like to really assess their self values. Like, what are they willing to deal with? What are they not looking to deal with? What's toxic? What's not toxic? Because I think a lot of kids come from such broken environments, especially nowadays, broken homes, abuse, right? There's so much corruption of the mind of youth before they get to adulthood. By the time they become adults, their mind is so corrupted by misguided information and visions of the wrong thing that it's hard to see a clear picture of what should be or what's healthy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if they took the time to say, hey, like if this happens to you, or if you're in a relationship like this, you know, where's your personal values, where's your morals, right? Like you can say no. Like I think that it's important to reinforce those conversations even over learning about someone in Persia from 3,000 years ago. Like yeah, great, it's a great story, but like the things I really think that drive your life are the things that are in this book, right? It's your confidence, it's knowing your worth, it's, you know, knowing the right picture, painting the right vision, right? And I think school misses the mark on all of those things. They don't talk about anything like that. You know, it never comes up. And it's everything. You know, what you see here, how your brain works is like everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys write the statement out or sign it?
I'm gonna have to go with a no on that one.
Okay, that's on page 221, FYI. And he says that
221.
you should commit this to memory as well. There's two of them. There's the one on page 221. And then I love that he says, nothing can bring you peace but yourself. And he says, you must practice reading it over and over until you know it by heart. Then repeat it at least once a day until you have literally transmuted it into your mental makeup. Keep a copy in front of you on a daily reminder of your pledge to practice. By doing so, you will bring effective use to the principle of autosuggestion as a means to developing self-confidence. Never mind what anyone says about your process. Just remember that it is your business to succeed, and this creed, if mastered and applied, will go a long way towards helping you.
Mm.
So, with that being said, read the creed. And then he goes into the self-confidence formula. I know I have the ability to achieve the objective of my desires. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward bodily action. I know the thoughts, the principles of autosuggestion, any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means I have clearly mapped out and written down. And this is really good. Number
What
4.
page is that on?
It starts on 224, this one, and goes to 225. Number 4 is I've clearly mapped out a description of my definite purpose in life, which is a definite chief aim for the next 5 years. I did mine for the next 10 years. And the price I'm willing to pay. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless it is built upon truth and justice. But he also tells you that you should paint a mental picture of yourself and you should focus on it for 30 minutes a day. So like who the person is that's making it happen. Does that make sense? Like what that person looks like.
Then hopefully you doing that, you can probably work on your weaknesses, improve.
Correct. Unconsciously though, without even working on them. Like you're not physically working, you're mentally working, you're doing visualization. So I thought these were extremely powerful. I'm actually going to put these, I put my definite chief aim, my top 3 goals for the year on my wall where I can read them every morning, but I'm going to put the self-confidence formula and the self-confidence, I believe in myself, I believe in those who work with me. I'm going to put that one on my wall as well. And every morning I'm going to write my definite chief aim, my top 3 goals, and then self-confidence formula and the this doesn't have a name, and the confidence pledge, my pledge of confidence. I'm gonna do the pledge of confidence and self-confidence formula and put those on my wall so I can write them every morning before I start my
So
day.
do we need to write those every day, the self-confidence formula?
He says that you should read the first one on page 221. He says you should read it until you've committed it to memory.
221. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, it's I believe in myself, I believe in those. It doesn't really have I don't think he gave it a name. That's the one
221.
yes, the one the wife writes.
Oh, okay. The creed.
Correct, the creed. Perfect.
Okay.
Creed. And then the self-confidence formula, you do have to write it at least once because you're supposed to sign it. So you don't have to
Okay.
rewrite it every day. You can
But
reread it.
reread it every day. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm
Got
just choosing to write it because it just works better for me mentally. Did you guys finish your
Okay.
definite chief aims?
My
I
definite what?
started on mine, but I haven't finished.
Mac,
What you said? Which list?
did you finish your definite chief aim?
Definitely chief aim.
Yeah, your definite chief aim. The thing I posted in the group, the 7 things.
Oh, actually, I missed that. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's the whole thing we've been working on. It's your life, well, your statement.
Mine is not completed,
Okay.
but I can have it. I will have it completed by next call.
Okay.
And I have my list of names.
Okay.
7.
Miss Ursula, do you have yours?
I do not have those, but I at least started looking up some people yesterday.
Okay. Did you work on any of your questions?
Questions for you all?
No, the questions for
Oh, the self-analysis?
yeah.
I did not, but I did look at that too right before I jumped on the call because I literally just finished my reading.
Well,
right
I'm on
before-
question 11. It's like 66 questions.
So are you writing them down?
Oh,
Or
I
did you
do. Everyone's
pages?
different. I just write the question out because for me, I always feel like if I find the journal, I want to know what the question was that I'm answering.
Yeah, there's
you-
no
could
way
you-
I could just write the answer. So,
Could-
and
could you-
it looks
do you
like
mind-
it's basically,
What
No,
Go
go
Matt?
ahead.
ahead,
Sorry. I said, go ahead.
oh, I was saying, are they just yes and no answers?
No.
I read a couple of them. Not all of them are. Some
No,
of them.
and I didn't write yes or no for any of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can
really?
you do me a favor? Do you mind reading off one of your questions and the answer that you provided, just to get a good example of how somebody else is doing it?
Sure. So I'm just going to do the first one. It says,
Perfect.
you often complain or feel bad. If so, why? I said, I used to because my physical body was in a lot of pain for a reason unknown to me. My body still hurts. However, with every year, it is getting better and better.
So
Okay.
do we have to have an elaborate answer? Like for me, that question is no.
I mean, you don't have to, no, but you want to think like, you want to think like you're going to do the self-analysis again, and you want to look back on your work. Like I wrote these answers when I was 20 years old, and I was reading my answers from when I was 20 years old, and I didn't write just no and yes. I wrote like detailed answers. So it gave me a really good insight into my mind and my mindset when I was in that phase of my life. That's why he says it takes at least a day. He said you should take a day or more to answer the questions. That's why I broke it up.
Okay. Now, quick question. Are these the same ones from like the beginning that we were supposed to do?
No.
Like in the that's different, huh? That's a different checklist. I still
Yeah,
gotta
that's
do.
like rating yourself on the 17 laws. Like you're supposed to rate yourself before you start and then rate yourself at the end.
Got it.
Obviously it's objective because it's you, right? Like, so you're going to answer. And it could also depend on what day it is. Some days we feel, crappier about ourselves and our accomplishments.
Yeah.
Some day we feel like we're like the man or the woman, So I think it depends on the day. I think the day I answered mine, I really wasn't in the best mood about myself. But it is what it is. I answer the questions and that's what it is. So at the end, I'll give myself better marks, hopefully.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, no, this is different. These are like specific questions. The one in the front is just like a number. And he has like people like Lincoln, like some of the greatest people in history, they answer. And then he has a couple
Right.
answers. So you can kind of assess where you are.
Got it. Okay.
And then,
Sounds good.
oh, the 7. Yeah, okay. So who are your 7, Mac?
Oh, you want to share now? Yeah, a second. Let me get my notebook, my other notebook.
Okay.
Let's see.
Well, good news, guys. By next Sunday, we have officially finished chapter 3. So super proud of you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that we're reading until chapter 4. So it's called The Power of Habit. That's where we're going to start off, and then we're going to end at lesson 4 and the habit savings. I'm really excited about that. But I'm super excited about the confidence thing. I definitely want us to make sure that we're all working on this.
Okay, sorry.
On the self-analysis.
Yes. Self-analysis and the self-confidence creed and the formula.
Okay.
So I'm just going to name the person and give you like a very short, one sentence why a little bit.
Me too.
So I got Serena Williams. They came from nothing, poor area, Compton, seeing people die, their sibling died, still practiced hard and became who they are today. So Serena Williams on there. Michael Jordan, I think I explained this one already. His drive, his organized effort to keep practicing and over again until he was the best. You got Bill Gates. The way it wasn't because of his programming skills that got him to be a billionaire, but his ruthlessness, kind of sort of. He actually paid the software from somebody else and paid him only like $1,000. They made billions of dollars off of it. So it was the fact that he was able to see the future. He was organized enough to structure everything and pull it off. I have to give Bill. That's why Bill Gates is on my list. Not because he's a billionaire, but how he became it. Steve Jobs for his innovation. Everybody loves Apple. Everybody loves Apple phones, and everybody starts paying top dollar for it. So the innovation there is high. How many iPhone users we got in here?
All of us.
I think all of it.
Not me, but yeah, you guys.
Oh.
Okay. So this is one. This one is a nerdy one. Cliffy B. Cliffy B. He is top programmer at Epic Games. So he made this series called Gears of War. Is a very big popular video game, but the way he was able to get the team together and create what the customer wanted, because this is like one of the #1 selling franchises, and it was huge. So he was able to see what the people wanted and then make it addicting, then get them hooked to the game. So he did a lot of research, organized effort. So that was a very good thing for him on his part. I don't hear from him anymore because I guess he's rich and he's enjoying his money on island. Then you got Ross Cameron. This guy, he's a new guy on YouTube, very successful guy, made millions of dollars. He is a day trader. And he has courses and he teaches people how to trade and he shows people how to trade. And he made, like, this year alone, he made like $1 million. One day he made $200,000 a few times in one day due to the pandemic. So him is because of how he saw a base for people wanting to learn how to trade, and not only learn how to trade, but make good money in one day. And he made a empire out of it. It's like one of the top streamers on YouTube. So
Wow.
And my last one is Martin Luther King Jr. You know, he was he was focused. You know how they talk about how you have to be focused on one common goal to be successful.
Mhm.
Yes.
And he was focused on why this word not coming to my head? He was oh my gosh, it's like escaping my head right now. I should have wrote this stuff down.
Letter,
You know, no, equal opportunity. It was
equality.
yes, but what's that term that they use? Civil rights. He was a big of civil rights. I'm sorry, I couldn't think about it right now. He was a big civil right advocate. So, and that's what he's focused on, and that's what he remembered for, and that's what he wrote that dream. I have a dream. So those are my 7 people, and a little explanation there. It was a little more fresh in my head last week, but so forgive me.
You did great.
Thank you. Let me hear yours.
I'm ready, so Lola could share hers.
The name of my group is the Big Business Billionaire Club, because I'm a billionaire. So I had all billionaires on my club. Walt Disney, Imagination is what I wanted from him. Hilton, which is Conrad Hilton, expansion, and also the experience that he gives his guest. Mansa Musa, the wealthiest man who ever lived. I chose him for his ability to create cooperation in the mastermind on a global scale. Carnegie,
Mhm.
the power to yield. For him, it was the power to yield the mastermind. The other one was to create cooperation. Elon Musk, to push the envelope. Donald Brent, he earns Irvine Company, which is one of the largest apartment building complex companies in the world. And for him, I put the strategic acquisition of like the apartments, obviously, what he did to do that. So it really wasn't him, it was his grandparents, but either way, to study what they did. And then I put Solomon for wisdom and understanding. And I had an 8th string, which I know I'm not supposed to, but it was Bill Gates, and it was for concentration of focus. So those are mine.
No women.
I had one woman and I ended up crossing her off.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, I had one woman, she was from Egypt.
Ooh.
But when it came down to having Solomon on the list, Solomon's been my mentor since I was like 20 years old. I had to put Solomon on my list. And I wasn't willing to give up my other people. I wasn't willing to give up Mansa Musa. So yeah, no ladies, no.
No ladies.
Hopefully I'm on somebody's list one day.
Who's the richest lady in the world?
I looked that up, but it wasn't really that significant. Like I didn't really like her. Like I didn't really like
It's not Oprah, is it?
No, fuck no.
Why you say it like that? You don't like Oprah?
I had Oprah on my list. I really don't like her. I had to take her off. I mean, I don't dislike her, but she's not my, she's not my speed. I didn't want her on my board. I didn't want her up there saying stuff. So
Gotcha.
when I said it at the table, I didn't want to hear Oprah. You know what I mean? I don't know why. She's nice. She's a nice lady. I'm very happy for her success. Black power. But nah. She had to go. Sorry. I thought about putting Rihanna. She was on the list too, because she's popping. She makes some bread. But like these guys that I put on the list are like fucking power players. We're talking like 100 mil. Everybody on this list is like 100 million plus. So
Rihanna's 300 million.
No, she's not.
Yeah,
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. I meant billion, 100 billion plus.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Not million. No.
100 billion.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with just a billionaire.
Well, that's good for you. But yeah, there's only a couple people like